Hello, I hope you're doing well wherever you're watching us from. Karibu sana sana to another edition of Urban Kale. This is Urban Kale TV and I'm definitely your host, Zion San. I know it's been like the longest time. Consistency has been the ghetto, but we are here. We are back on the show, manze. We are very glad to have one of the people who has been my host, my co-host, but today she's one of my guests that I'll be bringing going forward. And before even we continue, we would like to big up Sahara Gardens, manze, who have allowed us to film this particular episode in their hotel. Remember, if you want, dinner, meals, conference facilities, accommodation, Sahara Gardens Kericho is the place to be. Now, karibu sana. My guest on the show is Miss Linda Salbei. She's running for Member of Parliament Kipkelion East, and I'm super excited to have her on the show. Karibuni sana. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Urban Kale TV, and of course all these episodes are going to my YouTube channel, Zion San, so make sure you subscribe and follow, and fanyeni ile kitu mnafanyanga wadau. Karibu sana to the show. Linda Salbei, mheshimiwa, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Last time ulikuwa kwa hii show manze, you are my co-host, and right now umekuja kama my guest. Tables za utane 2022 maneno.
New year, new things.
New year, new things.
Thank you so much for having me.
Karibu sana to Urban Kale.
Mimi si mgeni sana, lakini leo unaniweka kwenye spotlight.
Wewe ni mwenyewe unajua mpaka bedroom, lakini leo tumekuanika.
Okay.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
I know nimekuita mwesh. We will get back to that element before. After. But before that, just a bit of background of who you are, what inspires you, what tickles you. Yes.
Thank you so much. Mimi first of all naitwa Linda Salbei. Mkazi wa Kericho County. I am a hustler. I am an entrepreneur.
All right.
Mimi niko kwa community work sana. I'm based in the community. First and foremost, I run an organization called Linda Msichana.
Yes.
Which is a community-based organization founded in 2015. 2015.
Okay.
Na kazi yetu basically ni kurudisha young mothers back to school.
Okay.
That is our main aim. Right. And then we also have other programs such as sanitary pad projects, which go all year round. And then we also have annual workshops where we bring girls together for a week or so. Na wanapata mafunzo tofauti, not only just health wise, peer communication, peer how to interact, first aid, just basically
just all rounded, just ensuring that the girl child anasimama.
All rounded, yeah. Anasimama, tunataka kuwaelewa deeper and deeper.
All right.
So that is what I do on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yes.
That's powerful. So, umesema you are a resident of Kericho County, and you are running for a certain office, but where specifically? People want to know, msichana anatoka village gani, alisomea shule gani,
Mimi nimelelewa Kericho town, lakini my home is in Chepseon. I'm from a village called Tugunon.
Okay.
So, that is where I come from. Nimesomea tu hapa tu Kericho.
Wapi?
Nimesomea of course Kericho primary.
Wewe ni mtu wa KP.
Mimi ni mtu wa KP.
Alright.
Alafu sasa high school tukatoka kiasi.
Kidogo.
Yeah, niko na long history ya high school, but sikuenda ati huko juu immediately. I went to a very local school in my village, Tugunon Secondary, for 1 year. And kutoka urban area moving to a rural setting, sometimes
there's a culture shock.
There's a culture shock. And when I went there when I joined this school, in my class nilipata kuna young mothers. My desk mate actually in school was a mom. So ilikuwa so fascinating that ati wewe ni uko na watoto.
That's like 15, 13, 14 year olds.
At that point I think she was around 16 or 17.
Wow.
Unajua tena ushago, also the people in school are not very young.
Yeah.
At that point I was so young. I was like a 12-year-old in Form 1. Now I'm meeting like a 16-year-old and she's telling me she's a mom. And she beat all odds. You know, she used to be the first one in school. Alikuwa anafika mapema sana. And then alikuanga the top in my class. So what made me want to know more was like, uyu, what is this that motivates her so much? That anafika mapema, unajua, anafika shule, ana change gumboots in school. So the more we interacted, that's when I got to learn that she has a baby.
And that is where your dream was born, like, I want to help more young girls.
So yeah.
Was that where your inspiration came from?
A bit of it, yes. Ilini touch, you know, I was like, kumbe mothers can also wanaweza kuwa shule. So eventually nikaenda Nairobi now to complete my secondary school studies. And then now, before I joined now college, I came back home kidogo. And coming back home, I realized that most of these girls who I was in school with, many of them did not finish school. And my class had very bright women, very bright girls.
Yani wale kabisa machopi, yani kuenda.
Class yetu number 1, yani ungeona tu number 1 ni msichana, number 2 ni msichana, number 3. Boy child wako, yes. But unajua changamoto, you know, girls, it's very motivating to see girls lead. So nikashanga, kwani what happened along the way? Nika research kidogo. I went visiting them kidogo. Many of them got married early. Wengine hawakuweza kumaliza shule because of small issues kama kukosa school fees. And then also societal norms ya huko kwetu ni ushago, you know, girls nyinyi ni kama
shafika miaka fulani
wewe olewa. So unaona inawakatia kumaliza education yao. So that really touched me. And now when I went back to continue with my studies, ilikuwa tu at the back of my mind, like I need to do something about it. What can I do?
That's amazing.
So hapo ndio Linda Msichana ikazaliwa.
Ukaamua sasa wewe Linda Salbei utakuwa unalinda msichana.
I think I was also destined for that because
amazing stuff. Amazing. So I mean, I'm glad that you've been able to do that. So is it something that you were doing long term, or it was a program that is running for some time and then maybe evaluate whether you are going to do it long term, or
initially yes, ni long term. Yeah, of course it was long term. And as we started, I honestly didn't know how to run a community-based organization. Mimi nimesomea flight operations. So ukiona flight na community work is totally different. Two different things. But I learned along the way, and I got people who really supported me, people who have been in the community sphere for quite some time, and they know the dynamics of community work. So walinishikilia mkono sana. Nimepelekwa so many trainings through this community work. I've networked with so many people doing amazing things out here. Let me tell you, iko watu wanapenda community. And I feel like I'm one of the people. And I'm lucky to be able to
be among
the people who want to see a community grow, a community flourish, thriving, you know. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's a whole show in itself, Bana. We can talk about what you do all the time because I feel like you have a lot that's going on and that we really need to highlight and let people know so that also people can partner and support. But since you know time is limited kidogo, now let's go to what you are running for now. You joined politics recently. DP alikuja Kericho, and you know we were seeing you kwa hapo UDA and stuff hustler. Yo, what's up? What's going on about that? Tell us about your political ambitions.
So my political ambition haikuanza jana. You remember back in school when people used to be asked, wewe unataka kuwa nini?
Yes.
Mimi nilikuwa nasema politician.
Oh yeah?
Not knowing.
Always known.
I've always wanted to be in politics.
Who inspired you?
Who inspired me to be in politics?
A lady and maybe a gentleman, please.
I come from a political background. My grandfather was a politician. My grandfather was Member of Parliament, Kipkelion, when it was the Greater Kipkelion in 1990.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't born yet then.
Hiya.
But I saw him.
1990
Sorry for another day.
Sip some water.
Ndio mjue even young people. Tunaweza shikilia hii country.
Tunaweza fanya maneno.
Tunaweza fanya hii mambo.
All right. Carry on.
Yeah, so walikuwa wananiuliza wewe unataka kwa nini? Nasema politician. Not knowing hata what is this politics, you know. But I knew that I wanted to be somewhere in the government or somewhere in the community.
Yes.
So ilienda tu mpaka ika fade away at some point. I forgot that was my ambition.
It happens.
Nikaenda a different lane, but I think also here lane towards community was also some form of leadership that I was following that path. So hapo ndio ilianzia.
Okay. So and you feel like getting into the political sphere and government would help you support the community better.
Exactly. You see, as community leaders also, we have to rely on the government. Community and government have to work together one way or another.
Hand in hand.
Hand in hand kabisa. So me being in the community sphere for quite some time, it made challenge that, why can't we occupy such spaces because of the challenges that us community people face.
And that is where solutions are actually made,
and
because huko ndio resources za nchi iko.
Exactly, huko ndio resources za nchi iko. Na sometimes we are so mad that the people who are in those spaces, they're not doing much. Na the resources hazitufiki because hatufai kuwa tunafanya kazi ya serikali, but somehow we have to so lazima to work pamoja.
Okay, so who is that one lady politician that inspired you? Yani ulikuwa unaonanga hivi kwa TV unasema siku moja that will be me. It can be locally or internationally.
Well ladies ni wengi. One of the ladies who I really admire is Her Excellency Governor Anne Waiguru.
All right. And you're going to tell us about Daughters of Kenya anyway.
I will. I used to see her. We were like, who is this beautiful lady in occupying such spheres and very vocal and very strong, not knowing that one day I was going to meet her. So I think also manifesting, manifesting and really focusing on what you want.
Yes. Somehow gets you there.
Yeah.
All right. That's nice. So let's you've talked of Anne Waiguru, and I was going through not just me bishta for Facebook, so I usually see what you post on Instagram, and then I'm looking at Daughters of Kenya, I'm looking at what Anne Waiguru is posting, and I'm looking at your photo and I'm like, wait a minute, who is this Linda Salbei again? So what about Daughters of Kenya?
So Daughters of Kenya is it's an organization for women leaders, not only in politics but also in business. Just vocal women in the community. In our country, tuanzie hapo. So Daughters of Kenya is comprised of daughters from different regions. We have Daughters of the Mountain, we have Daughters of the Valley, where I belong, and we have Daughters of the Lake, Daughters of the North. So it comprises of just women from different regions doing great things in their communities. And it's an umbrella now to support these women. What are you women doing in your different regions? Do you need networks? How can we help you? So that is what Daughters is all about. Just networking, knowing the right women. Women really motivate each other.
Yeah.
Munaweza kuwa mnaongea na wale wa the north. Yeah. Muna share the same experiences. Na inatupush, inakufanya, it keeps you going, inakufanya, kumbe I thought this was my problem alone, kumbe all the other women are facing the same things.
All right.
Yeah,
I see. So now let's talk about your political ambitions right now specifically. Which seat are you running for? And I know you've talked about what inspired you, the people that are inspiring you, so that have inspired you over time. Let's talk about now, the specific city you're running for in Kericho County, and what difference do you think you're going to make that hasn't happened yet?
I'm running for Member of Parliament.
MP.
Mwenyewe.
All right.
Kale East. And from my community work, actually, imekuwa based in that area for quite some time. Through that, I feel like I can move a step higher just from being in the community, but also being a representation of my constituency in Parliament. So I think hiyo ndio inani motivate that I know I'm very capable of being in such a position, because I have interacted with people from the community, not only youth, not only women, but also the older generation, watu wa biashara, you know, the vulnerable. Nimeinteract na so many people, and I feel like, you know, in such a position, na umeshajua shida ya watu.
Yes. Umekaa pale kwa ground mashinani, umesikiza, umeona shida, umepitia na wao.
Yeah. Ukiwekwa in such a position, you're in a better position to really allocate resources accordingly. Kwa wale ukweli wanaumia. Unajua huko chini watu wananyanyaswa sana. If you don't know your rights, if you don't know what the role ya government inafanya in your community,
yes,
ni ngumu sana wewe kuweza kusaidika ama you know, even to ask your leaders, you know, we are not getting these resources.
Even asking your leader to be accountable.
Unaona?
So you are caught up in a perpetual circle of unangoja 5 years ifike, leader kama kupatia yako wewe uende na uende upige tu kura, but you don't really participate because you don't know how to plug in and how to be part of, how just to be an active citizen in a country.
Exactly.
All right.
And also we also need a bit to change the narrative that wale watu wako huko juu hatuwezi wafikia. Yani I want to show everyone that hata sisi commoners we can get there.
Yes.
And we bring change. And people feel the impact.
Yes.
And you know, it's very fulfilling to as a person that kweli nimeweza kubadilisha maisha ya watu.
Yeah.
Kweli watu wame move forward because of me.
So people should not just look down upon themselves.
People
it's
should.
Something they can bring on the table.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Interesting. So what are some of the background? Watu wanasema nini? Mashida za watu ni nini? Linda. Tupige siasa sasa. Convince us. Some of us are voters in your place. Convince us. Shida ya mwananchi huko kwa ground.
Unajua shida ya mwananchi inategemea na categories. Wacha kama mimi I'm representing the youth. Niko hapa kama kijana. Na vijana wengi sana huku nje wanalia kazi. Haya, tumesoma hatuna kazi. Haya, tunataka kusoma hatuna school fees.
Yes.
You see? Mambo ya masomo ndio the main thing nimeona katika vijana.
All right.
Because so many of them are willing to go back to school. So many of them are willing kuendeleza masomo, lakini wanakosa resources, wanakosa funds. Unaona?
It can be at a TVET, doesn't have to be at
not necessarily primary and secondary school.
Yes.
There's also TVET, there's also college, uni. Hiyo problem cuts across. School fees ina cut across all spheres ya masomo. So tuseme hiyo kwanza vijana.
Alright.
And then tunaweza enda kwa women. There's things kama, you know, women empowerment. Hatuna mabiashara. Okay, tunataka kuanzisha biashara, lakini hatuna ile funding. We don't have resources.
And probably even the understanding of how to run a business vile inafaa.
Exactly. So as much as we want to help them, sio tu resources financially peke yake, pia wanafaa kufunzwa jinsi ya kuinvest back, you know, applying back the profits, saving, you know, and just growing the business. So bado kuna wanahitaji a lot of mafunzo mengi.
Okay. So a lot of civic education in a couple of areas.
Exactly. Yeah.
And empowerment. All right. So hiyo ni masomo. Kuna mashida gani zingine? Do you have like water problem, mama?
We do have actually problems bado hata sijamaliza. There's also drugs, drug abuse. Hiyo kwanza is very rampant in Ushago. You know, idleness pia inakufanya unaingia into other things that you're not even supposed to be engaged in. So young people kweli wengi wao saizi ukiwaona wana drown in alcohol abuse, you know, drug abuse.
Yes.
So we need to find a solution.
Yes.
To something like that.
Yes, I agree.
Haya, twende maji. Hiyo it cuts across all constituencies.
Kericho manze kwanza sai manze January, there's a lot of water rationing happening, and you're just like, yo, how are you going to survive? You don't have water for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
You get? What are you nyinyi wanasiasa manze? Now anyway, there are a lot of things because we hear there's a kuna deni between Bomet County and Kericho County, and yet Kericho is raining 24/7. Huku ndio Mungu anaoganga ikifikanga sasa. In fact, it's about to rain right now.
I feel like
but somehow manze Joe, ikifika this season, there are no water running in our taps. You get what is the problem?
Wacha tuanze na tusikate miti. You know, hii problem yote ya maji ni kwa sababu ya miti. You know, when we have proper forest cover, at least we are assured that livelihoods yetu itaendelea. Sisi tuko green region kabisa. Lakini ukiona ile side, so many people wamekata miti.
Okay. Karibu na the forest.
Karibu na the forest because Mau is just here. Lakini when you go inside you even wonder kwani what is not happening. Yeah, but wamekata miti, so we really need to have it at the back of our minds that lazima tupande miti. Wewe umepanda miti?
Yes, I have like personally mimi kwa my small shamba I have panded like 400 trees.
You see?
And naendelea bado.
Congratulations. So we need more people like you. Upande wherever function ikiwa panda miti. Ukiwa nyumbani panda miti.
In fact nilikuwa naangalia picha yako profile yako WhatsApp. Ni wewe tumepanda tu miti.
Mimi napandanga miti sana. I am also an environmentalist.
Have you planted?
Roughly.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't estimate. Maybe 2,000 trees.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Home events. Mau. I've taken part in many activities in rehabilitating our forest.
Right. Tag me along this time. Man.
So you see, those are the things. Tukiingia huko ndani, we want ikwe, you know.
Yes.
Inakuwa normal.
Waelewe that environment is everything.
Environment
you have to partner with nature.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to
tutalia maji for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. All right. So enough of mashida nini. Let's talk about some of the. Do you have like specific bills that you want to bring into the parliament? Because I know you belong to the bottom up bandwagon. True or false?
True. Ni kweli.
Clear kwanza na muda.
Of course. Kazi ni kazi. Hapo ndio tuko. Hapo ndio tuko kabisa.
Hapo sawa.
Yeah.
So what are some of the policies ama legislations ama some of the ideas that you think you're going to bring on the table?
So as a member of parliament, first of all, our work is representation of the people, and then we have legislation. So
and oversight.
And oversight. Kwa hizi harakati zangu za kuzungumza na watu in the community, kuna watu wale ambao wameniguza roho, wazee. You have heard of nyumba 10 initiatives. Nyumba 10 wazee wa kijiji. And one thing I realized is that this wazee of the kijiji, at the end of the month, hakuna mtu anawa appreciate, hakuna mtu anasema aya voice yake, aya asanteni kwa kazi yenu.
All right.
There is no one.
And they really play a very critical role in ensuring that people are
exactly together. People cohere together, people live in harmony together. Hao ndio wanajua each and everything inafanyika katika kijiji yao. So what I was thinking is we need a bill to kuangalia maslahi yao. At least at the end of the month iko stipends because they are part of our community security.
Yes.
Unaona?
Yes, which is very critical.
Na kama hakuna mtu wa kuambia asante, tutaumia kama
eventually even when those wazes they own and they feel like this is our land, these are our people, these are our children. So sometimes they do it out of love. But who are going to take over from them when they are not there? If it is not structured and formalized well and supported with necessary resources. And yet, we need those wazis to ensure that there is peace and cohesiveness.
We do. They play a very critical role. Tusiwaone tu hivi. Wazee know a lot, you know.
All right. So, you are running for MP. Why not women rep? Ama mbona kungoja nomination ya kusema, chama inaweza ni nominate. And we also know, I mean, there's affirmative action ya kusema, women are running for special seats yao imetengewa, but you have decided to battle it out with men. What made you arrive at that particular decision?
So the current political trend, we have seen many women coming up. We have seen many women wanting to be in this elective position, not only nomination. Unajua kitambo tulikuwa tunapitia nyuma nasema wacha ningoje nomination. But let me tell you, women are equally good leaders as
Yes,
men.
as men.
So why not tusijipatie ile changamoto ya okay, wacha ni run mpaka mahali nitafika.
Yes.
Ikishindikana hapo, let's move on to
We learn from the lessons and we adjust.
And we adjust from that. Saa hizi kuna very many women running for elective positions. Let me tell you,
Yes.
this particular election.
Governors, I'm like, you in almost every county,
Yeah.
there's a woman running for a
And
governor.
you see, sasa sisi kama women at home, we can't just sit and say,
Yeah.
wacha tushikane na wao. You know, women it's a very strong movement.
Yes.
Wamama wakiamua kushikana.
Yes.
You supporting that one, unajua pia una motivate ule unasema, okay, why not?
I agree because
Yeah.
ukiangalia statistics za 2013, 10 years ago, na saa hii, like 10 years ago, how many women were running for government? I mean, I wish I had this, but very, very few, if there were. But sai, almost in every county, there is a woman who is saying, hey, you know what, I'm battling it out. You get? Which is something that very inspirational. And maybe that is one of the roles that affirmative action makes, plays. But why are we not looking, why are we not seeing young people also rising up to run for, MCAs, MPs, senators? And when I say young, I mean like 22-year-old, 23, 25, 26. Why are we not?
Wako, I'm sure wako. But as the youth, sisi ni hustlers. Maybe we're just straight from school. We don't have the resources. One thing in a challenge sana in this particular field is resources.
Yes.
Resources, when I talk about resources, kwanza is finances. Politics is very expensive.
Yes.
Na mtu kujitolea kusema I want this seat, you have to have a plan, definitely. Maybe if it's mobilizing friends, if it's mobilizing your family. Politics is also an investment.
Yes.
Yani leadership is also an investment. Ni risk mtu una take. You're like, my friends, please back me up so that I can push such agendas, one or two agendas for you. So I really urge people who are involved in politics and who are affiliated in politics, wasaidie wenzao. Wakikuwa na rafiki anataka kusimama, invest in that person.
All right.
Of course, it might go both ways. Yeah, you guys might win, you guys might lose.
It's understandable.
It's a risk also.
It's something that happens.
Yeah.
But in terms of policy, how do we develop policies and legislations that is able to cushion, young people? For example, you are out of college and you really want to get into this particular space because you have a lot of ideas and you feel like this is my space. You understand? Not everybody wants to work in an office somewhere as an IT expert or whatever. People just want to be part of community development as a whole in terms of leadership. And coming out of college hauna resources, so you have to wait until wanasema ujijenge kwanza. But could there be a possibility that we could develop policies that are going to cushion young people who want to get into these spaces so that they are able to equally run? Ama could we be able to the same way tulitengeneza women rep position in every county? Is it possible to create a position that is reserved specifically
for the youth
35 and below?
I feel like we should be able to have,
so that it's not just nomination,
to have positions like that. But now for the youth unajua wanategemea mambo kama appointments depending on where. You also have to show your interest. What impact do you have in the lives of the community?
But how do I come up with sorry to interject, how do I come up with that impact if you haven't given me an opportunity?
That is why tuko hapa to fight for opportunities like that for the young people.
Yes.
We should be able to shikilia other young people. Kama tunaenda to the top, we should be able to help others also rise.
Yes, and that is where my concern is. Wewe ukiingia pale bunge, are you going to ensure that a bill somehow, I'm not a unique legal whatever, but I think I'm a thinker. Is it possible for you people then to push for such amendments to be done maybe in the law that the same way women rep position was created is the same way you are going to create a specific position for young people so that they don't have to rely on just appointments and nominations, party nominations. No, so that young people also can get a space to participate in shaping the direction, the political direction and the development of the country.
Just the same way actually they created the positions of women reps was to increase the number of women in parliament.
Yes.
So I feel like it's very much possible to create a bill that includes the young people in these positions, but only when young people washikane na waseme, you know what, let us push for this agenda. It's like the same way the bill passed ile ya kuitisha ma certificates, it was passed hiyo, because you see as young people wakienda kutafuta job unaitishwa so many things. Uliona hiyo walitoa? So wametuokolea pia in some way, because imagine unatafuta help, umeomba help, ujapata kazi ya kuclear help. CRB ndio wao. So I feel like that was the first step, at least walitusaidia kutoitisha such documents ndio upate kazi. So I feel like yes, young people tunafaa tu kushikana na tuseme this is the way, because the older generation watatoka very soon. Na sisi wenyewe tusiposhikana na tukubaliane, there's no way tutatetea vijana wenzetu.
So what you are saying is that young people need to push and agitate for this nini, because actually women, I have to give credit to women. Women really pushed for their legislative agenda to ensure that we have equal representation. We cannot just be having men in parliament committees and being presidents. We women also must be represented, and they really pushed for it, and they ensured that it was in the constitution. I think the youth atujanini vizuri, we need to rise up.
But so this is our time. Ndio hii sasa. Unaona, let's start with a few youth wenye wamekubali kujitokeza and to run for this elective position. So wasisahau that as much as wanaenda huko, they should be able kushikana as themselves, kutetea the other youth.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wewe ukiingia huko ndani na ukose kufanya hizo vitu, I know you kuja tukutandike wewe.
Mimi ni mtu wa kusema na kutenda. I'm a very intentional person. Ninafanya kazi kufanya one heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
You promise.
I promise.
Look at that camera.
And I'm committed
to the young people of this country and the people of Kale on East that you are going to do what you said. Angalia camera.
So for the people of Kipkelion East, for the youth who are really backing me up, mimi ninaenda huko kuwatetea, mimi ninaenda huko kuwashikilia mkono. So please tufanye kazi pamoja. Yeah, so that is just what I'm urging you, and we are tunaingia msimu wa siasa, tukue na amani. Yeah, let us just have peace and let us be of sane minds. The constitution is very clear. Elections is free and fair to everyone.
Yes.
So let us support our leaders who we think and we see that wako na vision kweli, and wata push agenda yetu as the youth mbele. So yeah.
All right. So kidogo, the DP was in Kericho last week. What did you make of that visit, and what are some of the observations that you made politically? What I saw was that the DP has a lot of people behind him. He's loved by the people, and the same people are the people pushing for their own agendas from the ground. Kila mtu wako na agenda yake, you never know. And amekuwa akipush hiyo maneno ya bottom up, hustler ni hustler, kazi ni kazi. And that's exactly the mindset we should all have. Tunaanzia hapa kwenda juu, all of us. Yes. So wewe usiponishikilia mkono, there's no way nitashikilia yule mwingine mkono. I feel like he brings so many people together. And in that way, hiyo ni bottom up. We all start from down here, kuendelea. So everyone in their own sphere, wasisahau that that's the whole point. It might not be politically inclined, but as a person, kazi yako tu, ni kushikilia tu mwingine as you rise. So na mwingine pia ametushikilia. Unaona sasa sisi kama youth, we really need people who have been in politics for quite some time,
kuweza kutushikilia because we are hanging. You see also the problem why youth tuna hang is because the older generation hawataki kutushikilia. Yani wanataka we learn on our own.
Yes.
And ina take
you to figure things out.
Inavuta iko na mvurutano and itafanya we are wasting so much time. Because by the time mimi ni learn, wewe ulearn. Na tutakuwa wazee na kuna wale wamesha learn. Mbona tu wasiseme, you know what you guys, this is how things are done. Tunataka mfanye hivi, kujeni, we want to come to this table. We want you to be in this table.
Yes.
So that you can be able to spread.
And then, use their wisdom and then combine that with the energy of young people.
Exactly.
Creativeness.
And we're so lucky because tuko na information everywhere. So we can use that readily available. Yeah.
All right. Asante sana. I think that's a very good place to, to just pause so that we are able to really think and process everything that you've said. And for us at Urban Kale, manzi, anytime you want to come on the show, we tutakupigia simu after ukikuwa mheshimiwa manzejo, please kuja kwa show.
Urban Kale is very dear to my heart also.
All right.
So
Julikuanga yes. We will keep this particular clips. Ile utakuanga Madam President. Do you have any nini by the becoming like a president or something?
Siwacha tufanye hii kwanza.
Si una declare to command the future.
Wacha tu tufanye hii kwanza.
Ama once you are a politician lazima uwe na ambition.
Of course lazima uwe na ambition, but let's work for the people of Kipkelion kwanza.
Sawa. Watu wa Kipkelion, watu wa Kericho County, you've heard for yourself from the lady herself. Madam ama Miss Linda Salbei.
Yeah.
Nikute Miss ama Madam.
Hata Miss
sawa. Miss Linda Salbei herself. Asanteni sana manzi for joining us on this particular show. It's been amazing. I think you need to come on the show.
There's a lot.
Tutasaidia ku get wale wanasiasa wengine wakuje kwa show.
Okay.
We get to talk about, it's a political season.
It is.
And we want to talk about visions and ideas. We are inviting everybody to come on the show. Sawa. Asante sana. Thanks and may God bless you. I hope I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Kupigia simu.
Nitashika.
Sawa. Asante.
All right. Thank you for having me. Asante.
Karibu sana.
Asante. My parting shot is to the people of Kipkelion East. Remember, voter registration is open. Tuchukue kura for those who have not. Ndio wakati wa kupiga kura ikifika, muweze kupigia Linda Salbei kama MP wenu. And to the greater Kericho County and our country, let us maintain peace during this election period. Na tukumbuke kazi ni kazi, every hustle matters, na form ni bottom up.